Speaking of tech, Elon Musk just announced that he plans to build his own utopia in Austin, Texas. Just gets a laugh on the premise there. With the affordable housing for his employees. I mean, he is a visionary. He does. I mean, we didn't see electric cars or landable rockets or, living on Mars. I mean, this guy thinks big. What are your thoughts? By the way, if I was going to build utopia, all respect to Austin, I wouldn't put it there. I mean, that's just me. And I like Austin. I like Austin a lot.
Sure.
I keep it weird every time I go.
Under the sharp lights of the Real Time with Bill Maher stage, where no topic is too controversial and no opinion too bold, a new debate takes center stage. Elon Musk, the tech titan known for his boundary-breaking visions, unveils his latest ambition, a utopia for his employees in Austin, Texas. A world of affordable housing, innovation hubs, and perhaps the blueprint for the future of humanity. But as Bill Maher and his guests, renowned thinkers and cultural critics, take on the idea, the dream begins to unravel. Is this a pioneering model for progress or an egotistical folly destined to fail? What does it mean to build a perfect society in an imperfect world? In this episode, the panel dives headfirst into the promises and perils of Musk's vision, sparking a conversation that challenges the very essence of utopian ideals. Brace yourself for wit, wisdom, and an unflinching look at the fine line between ambition and delusion.
He lacks stick-to-itiveness, and I'm not sure that he's thought hard enough about how a utopia would actually work beyond the kind of Disney World, beautiful picture that it would be in the beginning. I don't trust him to do this. I think I'd rather see a bunch of people put their heads together. But it's an
There's no such thing as utopia. How about that?
What is that?
Don't ever use the word utopia or think you can create a utopia under it. What a fool's errand that
Everybody
is.
would be
Talk
happy
about an
there.
over-promising con man. I'm going to build a...
Yeah. Also, utopia is a personal concept, and my
Right.
personal concept isn't the same as Elon's, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And so, my first thought was like, well, I definitely will not be living there.
Elon Musk's latest endeavor to construct a utopian community for his employees in Austin, Texas, has ignited both intrigue and doubt. Positioned as a futuristic haven, with affordable housing and innovative infrastructure, Musk's vision aims to redefine corporate responsibility and workplace culture. However, the concept of utopia itself invites scrutiny, as the panel on Real Time with Bill Maher examines the practical challenges and philosophical pitfalls of such an undertaking. Critics argue that utopias are inherently subjective, shaped by the biases of their creators. What Musk envisions as an ideal environment may not align with the diverse needs and aspirations of those who would inhabit it. Questions of governance, inclusivity, and sustainability loom large, exposing the complexities of implementing a personal vision on a communal scale.
All right. What impact, if any, can we expect the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, oh yes, to have on our financial system? If you didn't see, I saw this has just happened in a Silicon Valley Bank, one of the biggest banks in Silicon Valley, obviously they're tech, right? That's what they finance. I think the biggest bank failure since the 2008 crash. I guess we should have seen it coming because there's been a lot of layoffs and Bitcoin. Is this what this bank is, Bitcoin?
So Silicon Valley Bank's this 40-year-old bank from the Valley. It was designed and funded originally to make sure that startups, which have a tough time getting money, could get some money. If this were called the Lehigh Valley Bank, we would not really be paying that much attention to it. It's the Silicon Valley Bank part that's sexy, but the truth is it's a small bank. So it's got about 150 billion in capital. JP Morgan has $3 trillion. The only reason to be concerned about it is the knock-on effects of confidence, but it's a small bank that got caught short. It's the oldest story in the world.
But are we bailing out Bitcoin losers?
No, it's not.
Okay.
This is not about Bitcoin.
All right.
This is about a shortfall where they misaligned their bond spending with the amount coming in. They lost depositor confidence. It happened overnight. It's possible this gets contained.
Is it absolutely central to the startup industry, or is it just a bank that some startups?
It used to be 40 years ago. It is no longer central.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
The collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, a financial institution deeply connected to the tech startup ecosystem, represents a significant moment in understanding the vulnerabilities of modern financial systems. Although not as impactful as the 28 financial crisis, ZDB's failure highlights the risks posed by poor financial management sector concentration, and the fragility of public confidence. This event offers valuable insights into the challenges faced by mid-sized banks and their unique role in supporting innovation. The immediate cause of CBS collapse was a mismatch between its bond investments and liquidity requirements. As interest rates rose, the value of the long-term bonds held by the bank declined sharply. This devaluation left CB unable to meet depositor demands when withdrawals surged, triggering a classic bank run. The bank's focus on the startup and tech sectors, both highly sensitive to market volatility, amplified its exposure to financial risks. This concentration of clientele further destabilized the bank when investor confidence wavered.
That idea that everybody's supposed to go to college, everybody is supposed to get a good, solid high school education. That's another rant. But then you're supposed to go out and ply a trade unless you want to do the rather rarefied thing of go to college. That's one way that the old days were better than now. It's mission creep that everybody goes to college. And it's not true that if you don't go to college, you are going to be selling pencils on the street. There are many perfectly legitimate careers. We just need to learn how to talk about it more.
Right.
The other thing that
Could not agree more.
there's another phenomenon that I think is fascinating, which is kids are learning how to do stuff professionally from YouTube.
That's a good point.
And so if you are a coder, more often than not, you're watching a 90-minute video
Wow.
on how to use CSS,
Wow.
and it's moving at your own pace, frequently much faster than the education system can possibly get you there.
Go to school.
One example from this weekend, the Daniels, the guys who directed Everything Everywhere All at Once, they went to film school, and they are the ones who say, don't ever go to film school. Watch YouTube
Oh,
and
totally.
learn it. And so,
Well, that's for sure. That's for sure true about the arts.
about the arts, for sure.
You don't need school for the arts. In fact, they
MFA.
probably make it work.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
either you
ridiculous.
have it or you don't. I mean,
So-
it's just not something you can learn in
There's a guy
school.
with a PhD and a guy with an MA.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
but still,
yeah, no,
don't
of
be
course,
like us.
don't be
Right.
like
But
us.
okay,
yeah.
so you can learn that on YouTube. But what about, you mentioned Shakespeare. Now, were you, let me read into that. Were you saying Shakespeare is past his prime?
I was
And
being hyperbolic, but
Do you still like Shakespeare?
I think Shakespeare is a swell guy, but you should learn. You should learn about him in high school. All
Right.
of that should be packed in. Much more should be packed into the high school education. Maybe even have a 13th grade. Then, if you're going to go into finance, go work in a bank. You can work in a bank when you're 19. That's the
Right.
way I would like it to be. Shakespeare's great, but the 4 years where your mind is being expanded, expand your mind when you're a teenager, then go get a job. There's nothing abnormal about
Oh,
it.
they're expanding their minds when they're
In many ways.
The declining enrollment in colleges across the United States has sparked a growing critique of the traditional higher education system, once considered a gateway to career success and social mobility. College is increasingly being questioned for its cost relevance and overall return on investment. This shift in perception is leading many to re-evaluate the necessity of a four-year degree, particularly in an age where alternative avenues for skill acquisition are becoming more accessible and effective. One of the central arguments against the current model of higher education is its high cost, which often saddles graduates with significant debt. Many students find themselves questioning whether the benefits of a degree justify the financial burden, especially in fields where practical experience or technical skills are valued more than academic credentials. Additionally, critics argue that the traditional college experience is unnecessarily inflated, with students spending years in dormitories studying subjects that may not align with their career goals. This mission creep of higher education has shifted its focus from specialized training to a generalized expectation that everyone must attend college regardless of their ambitions or interests. Thank you for watching and supporting our channel. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more thought-provoking content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. We appreciate your time and can't wait to see you in the next video. Thanks again and stay tuned.